everyone, welcome back to the Crazy Crafter live stream. Good gracious, that's some epic music that's cued us in, but goodness, it's going to drown us out if I don't turn it down just a little bit for us. Welcome back to the Crazy Crafter live stream, everyone. My name is Colin Bresci. With me, again, for another whirlwind live stream adventure is Zane Morgan from Zane Morgan Crafts. Guten Tag,
Hello.
Zane Morgan. How are you, my friend?
I am great. How are you?
I'm doing well. It's just becoming a thing. Like you're just like I'm like, hey Zane, what are you doing? You're like, it's because I know your work schedule now. That's the problem. Yeah. I'm familiar with your work schedule, and I know when you're working. And I'm like, Zane would be crafting. Zane would just be putting work into his own passions and the channel and making things. And I'm like, yeah, he can come hang out on the live stream.
Yeah, I'm not doing anything. No, always a pleasure to be here.
It's great to have you back. It's great to have all of you out there joining us today, out there in the live stream. We've got Tina Martins out there. Welcome, Tina. The Mini Mason Slavko is in the house. Nat One Video is our fantastic moderator of the stream. We have Pocket T Craft. Derek Ludwig is out there. We have Cross from Campaign Terrain. And I think we've got a few more folks out there. Lil Gwen. Hey, what's up, Lil Gwen? Welcome to the stream. Great to have all of you out there. Tabletop Witchcraft. What's up, John? How you doing, brother? Hope you're doing well. We're long overdue for a catch up here soon, and always great to have you on the stream. Are you talking about Zane? Or me, or John, all the above. I think everyone, all of the foam family, it's great. Cool. Well, this is Chris Bovia. Hello, Chris. Welcome to the stream. So today's live stream, Zane, it's gonna be a little bit different. We're gonna go a little bit different this route. Some of you have expressed interest in having this channel dive into a little bit more D&D content beyond just the crafting world. So we're gonna do that today. And I thought it would be fun to talk a little bit about D&D character creation. And, if you've never played D&D before, it can be a daunting thing. I remember when I first started playing, I was like, I don't know what to do. I know I have to roll some dice. What is that? What is that?
That's my dice tray.
That's your dice tray? Let me see your dice tray. Let me see it.
Struggle.
Wait. It's got to open to be that. Oh, look at that thing. That's fancy. That's fancy AF. I love it. I love it.
You could use the lid if you wanted to, but
you can use either or you can pass it on to a friend, and you got multiple dice trays. That Zane, it's like you alluded to, like the favorite part of D&D, which is all the dice and the accessories that go along with the dice. Yeah, like I like those dice. Those are some dope dice. I can't believe. I took all my dice back inside because for today we're not creating all of the modifiers and all of the existing stats that we're going to plug into Constitution, Charisma, Intelligence, all that good stuff. We're using a standard array for the one shot that Zane and I are going to be a part of, and that's one of my favorite components of the game actually is character creation. So I think that's probably one of my favorite components. That may be because of maybe a little bit of my theatrical background, because it's just like you just get to create a character and you had to have some fun with it. So but if you've never played D&D before, and I know some of you out there haven't, and you're looking for pointers on where to start, what to do, Zane and I will kind of walk you through it, because while we love D&D, both Zane and I are not experts by any means of D&D. Do we know all the rules, all the characters and the classes? But we'll walk you through a little bit of the process and some resources, some really cool resources that you guys can gain access to. And actually, that's the first step here. The first step is click on this link, everyone. Let's see what happens when I share this. Okay. If you are not familiar with Z Library, it is a library that is free. It's a free online library that's trying to dedicate as many books, articles, peer reviewed journals. It's this one-stop shop in this project that they're trying to collect a bunch of books, and they've made them accessible, and they've made them free for download. This was actually shared with me by a colleague that I work with, so shout out to Nate. Thanks, Nate Stuffel, for sharing this. But this is a great place to go, and the link that I provided you, did you click on it there, Zane? Did it take you to the D&D Player's Handbook, or D&D the search? Did it work?
Pending. Yes.
Pending. Pending? Oh, cool. Pending Doom? That sounds awesome.
I see D&D Player's Handbook.
Cool. So this library, this online library, has pretty much, I think, and those of you that are very well versed in D&D, and I know you have a lot of the books too, Zane. You have hard copies, as do I. I have all the books. Let me know, but I feel like that's almost all of them that's available there to download for free. So if you're not sure, the books can be expensive, but this is a great resource where you can just go download them and have them. Obviously, if you can, I always encourage, if you want the books, go support your local game store. Buy the books, have them on hand. They're always a great reference. But for now, to get started, especially if you've never played and you're like, I don't want to drop all this money for these books, this is a great place to start. You can head on over and click that link. I'll be sure I got to add that link to the description of this stream so everyone can find it afterwards. But the Player's Handbook, Zane, I would argue, is probably the most important resource to have when you start.
Yep.
Yep. Totally.
Agreed.
Check.
Hold on. Alexa's being annoying.
Uh-oh. Alexa, what are you doing? Crazy Alexa. But that's where I like to start. The player's handbook here is super dope. It's a great place to start. It's got everything from classes to races to check out. What I feel like classes is probably the more important part of the book, but it's got how to play the game. It's chock full of great information, but that's a cool place to start. I don't know. That was a good question. Derek, you're asking, how is this legal? That's a great question. Let's go with the internet said it was okay. Because Zane brought it up yesterday and was just like, how is this legal? I was like, I don't know. But they have all these great resources. Is it because it's like rooted within a scholarly setup? Is that where it's at? I don't know. So it's a good question, Derek. I don't know. But for now, the Department of Homeland Security has not come and bust down my door for downloading the Player's Handbook and all the other things. So I'm gonna take a little asterisk. Like, I don't think you're selling your soul over by clicking on this and downloading this. Everything that I can read about Z Library so far looks good. So if anyone finds anything different, let me know. And then, we'll just burn this stream after the fact. And we'll shut it all down. We'll just edit it. It'll be like, don't worry about the first 10 minutes of this stream. Ignore everything. But it's a great resource. I'm all for making stuff accessible for everyone so they can play this amazing game. So I'm curious for those of you that nervous. Okay, must be true then. Colin's getting nervous now. I'm not getting nervous. I don't care. I don't care. That's why I have it up there. Give it 5 minutes. Give it 5 minutes. I know they're all on to me. All of a sudden the stream is taken over. It cuts out.
Stream drops.
I should have had that. That's what I should have done, Zane. I should have just had the scene written so it cuts brrr, and it takes over and it's this concludes your broadcast day and make everyone think that it got shut down. That's what I should have done. That would have been cool.
You just get transferred over to Wizards of the Coast.
Yeah, that's right. They're thank you. We will be charging you, and this is your allotted prison sentence. Enjoy. No. I don't think prison is happening to us. We'll be all right. I like to start with the character creation. I'm always interested in what everyone else is building, especially for depending on what we're doing. Are we building a character for a new campaign, or are we building it for a one shot? And I think there's a difference in building those two characters, and I think I approach it differently anyway. I don't know about you, Zane. I'm curious to hear if you guys approach building characters for a long-term campaign versus just a one-shot, because the technical for one-shot, it's supposed to just be for that session. We always joke in our group, one-shots are never one-shots. They're freaking 9-shots. Like, we have a one-shot in our campaign that has been on hold. We have never completed a true one-shot in our group. It can't do it. It ends up being its own campaign. Like, one-shots are tricky, and one-shots can be tricky to play as well. But I'm curious, what do you guys do out there in the stream that are tuning in to today? Do you guys how do you approach the two? Like, what are some things that you take into consideration? Where do you put your weight into character development and creation? Zane, I want to start with you. Like, what is there any difference? Like, what are the factors that you create, and what's important to you when you're creating the one-shot character versus a long-term campaign character?
So let me start by discrediting myself and saying that I'm a complete noob. But for the campaigns that I have participated in, the first one I joined, it was a pre-existing campaign that I joined into, and I was just told, because this was my first introduction to it, so I was like, what is this? What? They're like, oh, just make a character. I'm like, yeah, but like, what do I need to know? And so they listed what everyone's character was, and I'm like, cool, that means nothing to me. And they're like, just pick something that you think is cool. And I was like, okay. And I went into the mindset of, okay, I'm in like a video game or something. I'm like, what would I want to create? And my first character was a tiefling wizard that had necromancy as their focus. Or something like that. I don't really remember. But I just kind of went by what was cool in my mind and just kind of read through briefly and came up with that. And I think the most fun part was coming up with the description and the background and how to mesh that in with the existing storylines. So the newer campaign that I joined, that we were starting fresh, and that one was a lot more fun because I was more used to the game, and I just wanted something that was interesting. So I went with a Changeling Rogue. Ooh. And in our campaign, we were working together as a group that was hired to work on a lightning rail. So it was Eberron based. And yeah, so I ended up being the PR person because I had a lot of charisma. And that's what I built it around. But it was just fun working on the backstory and using my changeling skills in the game to work in my favor. So
Dungeon Matron is Dungeon Matron. Hi all, what illegal stuff are we doing now? The Dungeon Matron is actually mentioning like one of the more put up in the chat here, backstory. Very important, right? I think that's a huge component of any character creation, right? Whether it's for a few hours or whether it's could potentially be for years at this stage. How long for the longer campaign, Zane? How long has your group been playing now?
We haven't played in a while because pretty much everyone's been in the Navy or is in the Navy. So we went from all being in the same location to
scattered.
Whatever. Yeah. But we were playing on Dnd Beyond at the beginning of the pandemic, but that or Roll20. So that's kind of been pushed out just because lives. But that one's been going on a year and a half, maybe a little longer.
Okay. So again, the longer campaigns definitely tend to stretch, right? And they tend to stretch for a lot longer. Let's see. Something just popped up in the chat here from Slavko, the Mini Mason. For one-shots, I just create a character and not really think about any of it further than his personality. I tend to get attached to those fictional bastards, and if I develop them and we just don't play them anymore, I feel it's a real bummer. That's true. There's the trick, right? Like, I can't not get invested in anything that I create for D&D. It's impossible because of that. And that's part of the fun of the game, right? Creating creating this hero, creating your own version of this hero and what you wanna do in game. It's absolutely crucial to get invested, and I think that's great that you get invested in it, Mini Mason.
Yep.
You seeing? Yeah. Derek is saying, I always ask new players what movie character they would like to play. It's a great way to start off. Like something that you know, that you're familiar with, right? Help them make a character close to that. That your imaginative, they're your imaginary friends, Slavko. Tina's saying Slavko has imaginary friends only. Hilarious.
Just wait, Tina, you'll get hooked too.
Oh yeah. She's poking fun now, but wait till she does go hook, line, and sinker.
Just wait.
It's very easy. I feel, for me, for one shots, the thing that I always like to do is see what everyone else builds first.
Yeah.
Right? What everyone builds first, and then try to support the party in however way I feel like they need to be supported. That's a big component for me. So like right now in the one shot that we're looking to do, I don't see a healer, I don't see a cleric, right? So I'm thinking I might go cleric. However, I also let the part, like, I feel like anything you do D&D related, and this is like number one key, everyone, because I've had other folks like ask me like, what's the most important thing about D&D? Having fun is, I think, probably number one at the top of that list. And you need it to be something that you're going to enjoy role-playing for hours, or potentially a lot longer than that. So I couldn't help but think the one shot that we are currently getting ready to play sometime soon in the near future, I'm hoping, will be a bunch of... Right now, there's like everyone just randomly decided to be halflings, and there's one barbarian. So I was just like, well, I think it would be hilarious, like this like a bunch of like ruffian halflings that have to be corralled by this human barbarian. I think is hilarious. So that's kind of like where I'm basing it. I don't know this. I don't know. I can't remember all the perks and benefits of halflings, that like what that comes with that race, but I'm 100% going to be a halfling just because I think it will be funnier, and I think it will create interesting connections and backstory opportunities for the campaign when we do, or not the campaign, but for the one shot when we do it in the near future. So having fun and like what do I feel is gonna jive well with the rest of the group. Those are like two of my guiding factors.
So when Michael presented it, I was like, I didn't look at anyone else's characters because I was, I think, working at the time.
Yeah.
And I just started coming. I was like thinking, what would Michael enjoy from this? And I was like, oh, of course, halflings, because Lord of the Rings, hobbits. So I just went with that, and I don't think anyone did a ranger. So my go-to character was going to be a halfling ranger because I had never played a ranger before. So, and I listened to a lot of Crit Crab and that kind of stuff on YouTube, and I don't know. I thought it'd be fun. So,
dude, I think it's a great character. It's the first thing that I asked when we started talking about. I was like, what is everyone playing? Because I don't need to know the backstory, but I just want to know who, like, what they're choosing, so I can. I want to try to, be supportive of the rest of the party, help out, but also like what's gonna set up for potential awesome in moment games to let come to life. Tabletop Witchcraft is saying, I like to keep the backstory of my one-shot characters to no more than 20 pages single-spaced. Attaboy. What is it? They have like MLA format or different formats for like writing structures for essays here, and what is this, DMA format, like DM format. It's the DM format. Minimum 20 pages. All character bios must be single-spaced, no exceptions. Love it.
Wow. I feel like a clown.
What were you saying?
I said I feel like a clown compared to that, but okay.
No. I'm with you, Slavko. One-shots are hard as a player, but easier as a DM. Yeah, they can be. I think so, too. 20 pages. I have played one-shots that turn into full-blown campaigns. That's kind of what they end up doing. Like, I think it's hard. It's really hard to create a character and let it go, and just let it go after, because you spend. Some people spend a lot of time and investing that time into the character creation. So
here's my question to you and to everyone. Do you think it would be best for a new player to come in playing a one-shot? That way you're not invested and you see how you mesh with the other players in your group, or jumping into a campaign? Because to me, it sounds like it might be better to start as a one-shot and see if it develops into something. But that's just me. I haven't really had an experience with that, so.
I think it's a great question. Better to incorporate for the introduce to the one shot or jumping in the campaign. I want to hear. If you are interested and you want to jump in this amazing conversation, stand by. Hide non-video participants. That's all we need to do is hide stuff. If I do this, I can... Hold on, let me get to it. I gotta get to the right thing so I can actually do this. Boop. Let's copy that meeting information. I'm sending it. I'm posting here. I'm gonna blast this chat right now. Boom. Can I even send it? Oh, no, I can't. Hold on. That's too much. Stand by. I'll get this. If you want to call in and you want to chat with us a little bit about D&D character creation and that great question that Zane just proposed, you 100% can do that. So hold on. I'm going to do this. Copy the invite link. There that goes. It's going to go away here in a second.
So Slavko just said, I just imagined the Bavarian kicking those halflings away into the melee. And yeah, I can see that.
Yep.
Totally.
Yep. Let's see. Thanks for hanging out, John. Thanks for stopping by, brother. We're looking forward to chatting with you soon. I really have to keep them looking at the yearbook, the reminiscence, good old time. I usually give out a pile of recreated characters for my one-shots for my players to choose from. That's a smart way. I think we talked about that as well. We talked about giving out pre-made characters. Yeah. So that's an important and great way to go about it, Dungeon Master. I think that's a great way. That way, you've done all the work, right? Or you haven't done all of it, because even though you have characters created, you still get to create backstory, make decisions on how that person. You still have some influential choices that you get to make and being a part in creating that character. Just because it's
being an actor.
Right. Let's see. I'd say one-shots are definitely the way to go for a new player. Okay? Why?
¿Por qué?
¿Por qué, Slavko? You should just click the Zoom call and join the call and give us your opinion. Just click it. Join for a second. You don't have to be... You're not on camera. I'm not putting you on camera. I know better. I did it once recently. Oh man, just chew all the scenery with your charisma, your insanely OP charisma modifiers. That is Slavko.
He makes an appearance in my YouTube video after this.
Which by the way is dropping when, my friend?
It is at 2:30. So
is that 12:30 here? At 12.
Yes.
So 30 minutes after this stream ends.
Yes.
Cool.
Yep. That.
So everyone tune in for that premiere. I'll be there.
And it will be a premiere, so there'll be a live chat, and you guys can tell me how much it sucks or how great it is, and we can have fun.
Yes. Is Slavko calling in? I'm waiting for you. Slavko. Call in. Tell us why one-shots are the better route to go for new players. I'm excited to hear about that.
Tina needs more wine.
More wine. So wait, you want more wine so you can follow the conversation of character creation? Oh, I don't know if that's how that works. It's certainly going to be the fun factor you were talking about earlier. You'll get that covered, Tina.
So Mini Mason says because he said so. But en français.
Because he said so.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm floored. I'm floored. I'm okay. Before I voice mine, I don't want to say yet. I want to hear more folks pop up here. Dungeon Matron and I have a lot of common Pocket Tea Craft is saying I always use pre-made characters for one-shots. It's a good way to keep them as one-shots. That does help with not being... It is different, like everyone's talking about, getting invested. When you create your own, you want it to become a thing. It's easy to have done. Cross from campaign terrain. I've never run one-shots. However, when introducing new players, I like their character to be a possible one-shot, like PC hireling, essentially.
So like a trap.
Yep. If the player clicks, then they can write more permanent character or flesh out the first one. Oh, that's great. Giving people kind of a little bit of a test run for it. Yep.
It's kind of a tease cross, but that's fine.
And they can later build them or build out an ancestor character from pre-made characters. Nice. I like all this. This is all there. Here's the other thing too, guys. Like you're gonna see a lot of different options on. People suggest this. People suggest that. Like ultimately, at the end of the day, whatever works best for you, right? Whatever works best for you and whatever you want to try. It's okay if you want to build the character and invest the time and get excited. Like, there's nothing wrong about getting excited about playing this game. That's the whole point, right? And I think that's the big thing is just, like, what do you think would be fun? Like, I cannot stress that enough. Like, what is going to be fun for you to play out? What is going to be something fun for you to role play with? It's important. Not calling in, just think that one-shots are no strings attached. And if the person doesn't want to continue the game, it's all good. Okay.
How am I a tease, Tina?
Aren't you a tease, Zane Morgan Crafts? Oh my goodness. I don't know how to make calls into Zoom. All you do is click this link. Ready?
He's a liar.
Click this link. Back in the thing. Click that link. And just keep your video off. Don't unmute your video. Just unmute your audio. That's all.
He and I zoomed yesterday. He's lying.
I know he is. I know he's lying. Everyone knows how to zoom at this stage in their life. My child knows how to zoom because of this crazy last year and a half.
Kids today are smart, so anything technology, they're like, oh.
Are you saying Slavko's not smart? That's what you're saying. You're saying kids are smart. Slavko's not. Woof. Woof.
He's pretending.
He's pretending. Hey, John Hosenfeld is here. Welcome, Johnny. John Hosenfeld's in the house. We're discussing building characters for D&D, how we go about it, what we like to do. And the question that has been proposed to everyone, and you're more than welcome to call in. If anyone wants to call in, I'm just going to keep putting it up here. You're more than welcome to call in and give us your opinion. But are one-shots or playing full-blown campaigns a better way to introduce players to D&D? One-shots or full-blown campaigns? Slavko was on the stream last week on Zoom. Laughing out loud. Yeah, right? We know. It's been like 2 weeks. And he also Zoomed yesterday with... He's been burned. He knows.
Okay, so, Colin, here's my next question for you.
Yeah.
What was your first D&D character?
My first D&D character... Okay, so that first D&D character was... If we're getting by 5e rules, was myself. Okay. I played myself in a version of a zombie apocalypse game that we played years ago. That was my first introduction to D&D. But we didn't play a traditional game. We rolled up our own characters and had stats based on our real life abilities. So I training in stage combat, I had like edged weapons and melee stuff. It was pretty funny. I was just like, that's dope. And they really liked it. We played that for a while. That was a ton of fun. But then for fantasy D&D, like traditional D&D sense, it is the character that I'm playing right now. That's the first one. Now, I've played others since then, but the first one officially is my Hill Dwarf battle raging barbarian who
I still feel like that's just you playing you, but
I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. But that's definitely my first one. I think I also built a backup character early on in the campaign because one of our players drew the wrong thing from the deck of many wrong card from the deck of many things and got lost in a pocket dimension, and as a result of that, luckily he had a backup character just in case, and I was like, oh crap, I should have a backup character too. So I created Varkus, who is a monk following the way of the open hand, and he's a half elf, and Varkus is a little kind of like a little bit of a Southern California beach bum, but he'll kick your ass, man. Like Varkus will wreck your shop. And
he's a monk.
Huh?
The monk.
He's a monk. Yep.
Those things are badass.
Yeah, monks are the shiznit. We'll talk.
I really
want
to play one, but
I mean, you should look at a monk. I know you've got an idea for your class today, for the one shot. But I want, as we go to create our characters today, you should keep an open mind and see, like, I don't know, create a monk. Like, it's just, I have fun just going through and just creating random characters sometimes. It's a ton of fun.
Yeah.
Ton of fun.
Frank's the same way. He has his D&D Beyond is just characters. Because he's like, oh, I feel like rolling for one. I'm like, okay. Have fun. But,
oh my goodness. Let's see. Oddly, I feel I build better campaigns than one-shots. That's not odd. I don't think that's odd. Morgan Stoneshifter, he was a drunken thief. I made him when I was 14. Morgan Stoneshifter. Or Moran Stoneshifter, not Morgan. Moran Stoneshifter. What a great name. What a great name.
If you pronounce it wrong, it's moron.
Maybe
depends
it's
how you play it.
Moran. Moron. I feel like my character, Varkus, would pronounce it wrong. Varkus would be like, moron? Moron. So good to see you, moron.
Shaka bra.
Shaka bra. My favorite character is the one I'm playing in DM Scotty's game right now. A Halfling Rogue with the charlatan background. She disguises herself as a human child. Ooh, that's cool. Her name is Cherub. Haha, good name. Good name. Okay, so now we're bringing up some of the favorite builds. What are some of your favorite or first builds, right? I think that question Zane asked me. We'll throw it back out there to all of you. Again, if you guys want to call in to the stream, all you have to do is don't turn on your video, but just leave your audio on and join the stream. Tell us about,
help us entertain you.
Yeah, help us entertain you, and you'll. I'm always anxious to hear about the character builds that everyone comes up with. I should have had the rest of my D&D group come on here and like get in here and share some of their favorite builds too. That's wild.
So Tina says she has a question.
Okay.
Reroll the die. What does that mean? In my head, die equals dead. So I'll die in the first minute and stand for lucky. How? Die is dice, Tina. It's just a singular.
It's the dice. There you go. Derek is saying he started with Dragonlance, so he started as a Kender Thief, 14 back in 1994. Nice. Haven't been a player in about 20 years. That's something that is interesting too, right? We get a lot of folks that play D&D that don't that are DMing now but don't get to play anymore. Yeah, Richard has talked about that. It was really cool at the 1 year anniversary celebration of our campaign. We were surprised. Richard joined in. And a one-shot was ran before we started the primary campaign. A one-shot that lasted 7 hours. Aaron Pressburg. 7 hours is not a one-shot. That is a marathon. It was a lot of fun, but oh my god. There it goes. They're like showing you at like how quickly the game can just steamroll and keep going. But in that time, Richard got to play. So instead of DMing for us, we got to play with Richard as fellow PCs. That was really cool. and he's like, I want to do more of it. And I'm like, well, you fucking should. Like, next campaign, Richard shouldn't run. Richard should be a player. I want Richard to play because he DMs all the time now, and I can see that the other flip side of it. I don't know if you've experienced this, Zane, but when I've only run a couple one shots. It's addicting. I like DMing. DMing's fun.
I haven't DM'd yet. I would love to, but
DMing's fun.
I have not. But you said you were playing with Richard, and all I could think of was playing with Dick. So sorry, it's out there.
I see.
Welcome to my brain.
Welcome to Zane's brain. Welcome to Zane's brain. Oh, Aaron's texting me. I was like, did he text me? Get free pat. Oh, nope. That's even better news. I thought his ears were ringing, or he's watching the stream as I'm talking shit about him running his 8-hour one shot. He's not. He was gonna have his kids here for our first in-person session. Is not this Friday, but the following Friday. Oh my God, I'm losing my mind. I'm so excited. But he was gonna have the kids with him, but his wife and family have helped arrange. So now he's texting me out of pure joy. He's like, "No kids." I was like, He's like, I got free range on D&D night, and I was like, oh, he's excited. He's really excited. But his son. His oldest son plays with us whenever he's come and he needs to come with the like he has a character. He has his character tool. He's got the most OP character out of all of us in the campaign. Miles Morales. Yeah, he's named Miles Morales. And he's a ranger that can wreck shop. He's a cat person. What is the cat? What is
Tex Abbey?
Yeah, he's
Tex however you pronounce it.
Yes. There you go. I
knew something. Hey.
You knew something. Well, something that's really cool about this game. I know. I want to get into a little bit. We'll always go back if you guys want to chat more, or you want to incorporate more chatting and talking about your characters in D&D. Just throw it up in the chat. We'll come over it. But I do want to talk a little bit, Zane, about our character creation for the one shot, because why not? That's what we're here to do. And one of the things that's really cool to bring up and chat about is where is it? I have it right here. There it is. Hold on. Can bring that up into play. Down there in the lower right hand corner, I've got a little bit of the character's handbook, right? And this is, you can go to any page here, but I wanted to go around. This book has a great, it starts off with step-by-step creating your characters, right? You gotta choose a class, choose a race, choose a class, right? So I think before we dive into anything, I'm hoping Dungeon Matron and the rest of y'all can chime in about some of the cool elements about halflings, because I've never played a halfling before. And what are some of the benefits of halfling? What are some of the classes you feel pair best with a halfling, right? Is a halfling rogue a better combination than, say, a halfling cleric, right? And what are some of the reasons that you might pair, if you guys could take, if you were building a halfling character, what class would you choose and why is my question, right? And I'll throw that to Zane first. Is there a particular reason, because you built a halfling already, what class, or what class did you choose for that halfling, Zane?
So I chose ranger, but a rogue would work because halflings have that luck benefit to their race.
Right.
But ranger, I just chose honestly because I haven't played a ranger and I thought it would be cool. So there wasn't any real methodology behind it.
And see, that's fine, right? There's nothing wrong with that. There's a reason in so I chose, when I was building Varkus and when I was building my character for Richard's Fantasy Fight Club build, I chose half monk because you get a boost to your dex. And dex as a monk is clutch. You need that, right? For that particular type of build. So whenever you're looking at the different races and classes, look for the it's not a bad idea. It says to start with the race, but it's not a bad idea to look at the class and see if like where their strengths lie. Is it a Constitution build, right? Because if I'm building a fighter or if I'm building a bard, right, versus a barbarian, those are two different things, right? I'm gonna need some mad charisma to boost all the spell casting ability for my bard versus I'm gonna need strength for a barbarian. Yeah. So, but I also love the fact too, Zane. Like, there's also just the fact of like, I just think it'd be fucking cool, right? Like, that's dope. And I think that's what's so cool about the game is you can do it whatever you want. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Just try it. Especially for one shots, it's game on, Holmes, because it is only for a few hours. You can try. It's a great way to. It's a great way to play to just try different classes and races out and see what you want to do. I think it's a great way to play. You can figure out your play style.
I think like we're not getting into like rolling for the stats or anything, but I think it's fun when you get really low rolls and you just put them in places that are gonna alter how you would play that character.
Right.
So I don't know, like a dumb wizard or something like that's really gonna hinder your character and how you play and that kind of stuff, or a low dex rogue or something like that, you know.
Yep.
Or just messes with how you play and it makes
just
it
messes with how you play it. I think it's also really cool. So check this out. This is also something I really like. Yeah, it gives you a little bit of like it says halflings are kind and curious. Halflings are an affable and cheerful people. They cherish the bonds of family and friendship as well as the comforts of hearth and home, harboring few dreams of gold and glory. Right? Even adventurers among them usually venture off to the world for reasons of community and friendship. I think that's cool, but what if you went the complete opposite? What if you went against the mold and you were a hermit of the group, right? And then all of a sudden you find this community, right, within the player, and all of a sudden you have an arc and a potential to form friendship for the first time. I think there's any way you can generate some good conflict within the party is always gonna enhance the gameplay. 100%. 100%.
No, I mean there's obviously extremes to that. Don't be someone who completely disables your team, but
right.
But okay, another thing is the alignment. So like lawful evil, chaotic, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
They mean more than they sound. So, like, someone chaotic evil, initially, my thinking behind it was, okay, they're like a supervillain type archetype or something. But really, it could just be, you know, they just, like, it's just the direction they go, but it's not going to completely alter how your character is. So it's not going to completely disable your group of players. Say you're all on the good alignment. Having an evil player isn't going to destroy it. It's just... I don't know. I know some people don't even choose alignments for their campaigns.
Right.
But I don't know. I've been listening to a lot of YouTube chats about it, and it's just interesting seeing how people choose to play with the alignment.
Right. It's definitely a fun element to incorporate and figure out how to utilize it in like how you're going to utilize it, or if you're going to utilize it. Do you guys out there in the chat, do you guys utilize the alignment when you're building? Oh my goodness, there's a lot that's happening here in the chat. Let's catch up on it. John says he's run a one shot that is called Terrible Trouble in Tradador. That was years ago. I love the alliteration. That's a good title. Second edition is what Derek started with. I need to get into character building maybe on my holiday. I'll paint minis and build a character. That sounds like a great holiday, Tina. Luck, you can tell you can tell ones or re-roll ones. Yeah, that's another one. I think Zane, you were talking about that ability. That's a big one. That's a big one to re-roll. There is a... If you guys, has anyone out there listened before, and have you done this? Have you listened to Not Another D&D podcast yet?
No.
Everyone, whatever you're doing, download on Spotify or go to the website. Like, it's free. It's a podcast, right? You can subscribe. I think they have the largest amount of Patreon subscribers on Patreon. Is not another D&D podcast. I think they have close to 20,000 Patreon followers. All this, it's a group of D&D lovers, and it's a group of actors and writers and podcasters, and they've been doing. I think they smoke Critical Role, and I know that might be a pretty, like, oh my god, people fell out of their chair possibly right now, but I think they smoke Critical Role.
Wow.
And they smoke Critical Role because of the, they're just they built these wonderful characters, and then they spend it's 100 episodes. The first campaign is 100 episodes, with each one ranging between like 2.5 to 3 hours. That's a lot of time. And
You're
they do
asking a lot of me, Colin.
Huh?
You're asking a lot of me.
Oh, you craft all the time. When you're not listening to if you're not listening to your favorite YouTube channel, which is either Zane Morgan Crafts, Not One Videos, Pocket T Video, 1D6 Crafting, or the Crazy Crafter live stream, or the other slew of amazing channels that are out there, you should want. I like listening and crafting to podcasts, and they it's a long haul, but you'll get invested. It's the best. I think it's better than any Netflix radio drama ever. Like, they concluded the campaign in the middle of the pandemic about a year ago too. So like, I'm sitting here, at that stage we were about halfway through the pandemic, where we were in like June or July last year, and Fort and I are sitting here on my back patio with like around the fireplace, sipping some whiskey, listening to the final episodes, like. And I'm over there like bawling my eyes out because it's so good. It's like such a great series. And one of the reasons that makes it so cool are the characters. All of that preface to say, one of the main characters is a halfling. He's a halfling paladin, and he has that lucky feat to re-roll shit is so important. It's amazing. How all the different... It's such a cool game, because anyone at any given moment in the game can become the hero.
Yeah.
You can also just flop as well, which I think is hilarious. The last session we played, both Aaron and his son were... both Aaron and Zach were playing. It was our last online game, and every deck save they had to make, they failed. And they failed... They nat 1'd it. It was amazing. Like, both of them. So father and son, and it's just like, you can't script that game, and like how some of that's how the dice rolls up. But then it's also based on what you choose and how like the half orc comes into play to help the party out, or how the halfling comes in to help the party out when they need it the most, in a way that maybe no one has thought of before, that comes to light at the last moment. It's pretty cool. It's one of my favorites. It's one of my favorites.
I'll check it out.
You gotta check it out. And so does everyone else. I had a halfling monk who was a total destroyer, key points, and unarmed defense. Monks are the shiznit because you can deflect ranged crap if it's not magical. I think magical, you start getting like you can go and get smoked. But if people are shooting arrows at you or throwing stuff from range, you have the ability to block it. It's great.
Yeah.
Ghostwise halflings get a wisdom bonus and are awesome clerics or druids. Ooh, see, now that's something I'm gonna consider when ghostwise halflings. What's a ghostwise halfling?
Ghostwise halflings trace their ancestry back to a war among halfling tribes that sent their ancestors into flight from Loreen. I butchered that. Sorry. Ghostwise halflings are the rarest of the Hin, found only in Chandlewood and a few other isolated forests clustered in the tight-knit clans.
Dude, that's dope. See, I think I may have to I'm going to write that because...
Ooh, and they have silent speech.
Ooh. See,
And
that's what let's see. Halfling build. I'm writing my notes on my phone here. Halfling build, Ghostwise. I'm writing Ghostwise, cleric or druid. I think a cleric would be... I think that you need a healer. If you're going on an adventure, whether it's for a few hours or a long time in the long haul, you need a healer.
Yeah.
You need a healer
For
sure. So I'm gonna look into that, Flavco. The Ghostwise would be fun. Don't min-max your character. Let them have flaws. I love them. I love flaws. Flaws are great. Flaws are great. Even the min-max characters have flaws. Yeah. The flaws the flaws aren't just resoluted to the stats, right? Because at the end of the day, one of our players, same buddy, Aaron, who's a Dragonborn fighter, very powerful, and he became evil, and we didn't know it. Do you guys draw from the deck of many things? Because all of my party that I play with, holy shit, that's like, we're like, well, guess we're bored on this transport. How about we draw from the deck of many things and fuck everything up, everyone? Sound good? Let's do that. We've done that twice in our game, and finally our DM, Richard, took the deck away. We drew from it last time. He's like, the deck goes away. Because we're like, it's the irresistible thing that we can't not do. And even me, I was just like, I'm not drawing from that thing. And my ass draws 2 cards like an idiot. So
yeah, let me check my character. I think I have a deck of many things on my current character.
Oh shit! You want to spice up the campaign a little bit, everyone. Throw the deck of many things out there. That would be a fun one shot.
Oh gosh.
Where everyone is at it. The game starts at an inn, and it's a gamble. It's like everyone's gambling, and they're forced to draw from the deck of many things, and then deal with whatever happens to them from there. That would be fun. Anyway. Let's see. Mini Mason, I feel Chaotic Good is one of the best to play. It's like the Robin Hood of D&D. That's dope. That seems lawful good. Robin Hood stole from everyone, Tina. Stealing's not lawful.
I have a smut book in my inventory.
What's a smut book?
I think we went to an adult bookstore in my campaign.
You have a smut book? Awesome. Please incorporate that into the next time you play somehow. You have to incorporate that.
Yeah.
So one of my, like, it's little things. Like, I get a bonus action attack with my spiked armor if folks are within 5 feet range of me, and I've turned that attack into a headbutt. And the joke is always, I'm short, so I headbutt them in the junk. I headbutt everyone in the crotch because that's a
dick move. No.
It is a dick move, right? Headbutt them in the dick. It's a classy move. Well, one of my, I got so excited that we were fighting these dragons the last battle we had, and it's so funny. I can't crit. I haven't crit on an actual attack with my great axe in forever, but I'll crit on the stupid bonus attack headbutt with headbutt in the dick, right? I'm pretty good, like my crits, but that's coming to play because sometimes that's killed whatever creature. So
but that's the beauty of D&D.
That's the beauty of D&D. Anyway, the last time I used that action, I headbutt the dragon, and I headbutt its arterial vein in the neck to like kill it, and I like got like a running jump to do it, and it was like and like turned did like a forward somersault to like headbutt this thing, and then Richard's like, cool. Now you got to roll. What did he have me do? Was it Constitution or Dex to like see if I got stuck? And I nat 1'd it. So now I'm stuck I've killed this thing, but I'm stuck in its neck. So I thought that like it's absolutely glorious with all the little things you can do with your character. Which Zane, you mentioned something earlier. D&D Beyond is free, yes?
Yep.
So
it is.
D&D
good
Beyond,
resource.
D&D Beyond is another great resource. Maybe we can put that up there.
You do purchase, I think, the books and stuff on there or something to add, but I think the initial basic D&D is free on there.
It's free. What's cool about D&D Beyond, for those of you that are out there, is you can basically just plug and play and work your stats in, and it does a really good job of breaking down your character breakdown as far as what your traits are any feats you might have, attacks, spell slots, organization, like especially if you're a caster. Oh my god, D&D Beyond helps you organize all that stuff. And
in character creation, if you're unsure how to roll your character or play your character, they have this thing where you just click in, it randomizes some presets.
Yeah.
And it'll give you some backstory leads and things to go by, and it helps, especially for new players.
It's amazing, and we cannot recommend it enough. I became familiar with it, when I started playing this campaign that I'm in now with Richard and everyone. So it is a great place and a great resource to go for character building, and I'm gonna put it up here for you. Boop. There it is. Let's see. Chaotic does not equal unlawful, just unlawful, not bound by it, but they don't have to be buck wild either. I love it. I feel like chaotic good is one of the best to play. It's like a Robin Hood. Yeah, we got into that. Monks are freaking broken. They can be. I love it. Michael, you're saying Lucy does not agree with me about Critical Role. But I will say this. Has Lucy listened to Not Another D&D podcast yet? So just have Lucy listen to Not Another D&D podcast. You got to listen to it. And it takes time. You got to do like the first 10 episodes, they really start to come into their own, but it's really, really good, and it's worth checking out. Like, I'm picturing Lucy be like, "No, Colin, no, Critical Route," like just like upending things, like threatening to like shut down the laptop right now. Maybe not that irate. I am a bit dramatic. I play with alignment, but tell my players not to write anything down until 3rd level, so they're more accurate. I see. That's cool. I feel chaotic good's one of the best to play.
That's a good thing. Sorry, DM said. Dungeon Matron said D&D Beyond also has low-level pre-made characters that you can use.
It's great. Yeah, D&D Beyond is a great resource for everyone. You guys should 100% check out that if you're not familiar with it. It's a great resource to build characters. I think maybe she has a crush on Matthew Mercer. Maybe she does. She can crush on all the folks from NADPOD too. I've listened to both, and definitely Critical Role is greater than NADPOD. Sorry, Colin. Wow, I'll fight all of you on this. I'll fight all of you.
Just grab a sword, man.
Just grab a sword. Yeah, I got him. I'm ready. I'm ready. You guys ready? I'm ready. You guys ready? Let's do this.
Is that Sting?
No, but it's certainly meant to look like it, huh?
Yeah.
Just kind of cool, right? So that's another thing, like getting to pick your weapons, right, and your tools, right, for everything. What are you going to be proficient in? Super fun. Finesse weapons versus, heavier hack and bash. All have their advantages. Just know that when I created my stuff for my dwarf barbarian, I was like, what rolls the D12? That's what I'm wielding. I was like, I want to hit hard. So that's what I chose. But you're a fight instructor, not fair. But it's for fakesies, Derek. It's for fakesies. It's not realsies. Carl is the one you should watch out for. Amy's the one you should watch out for. Amy's trained in she's trained in more actual martial longsword than I have. So, anyway, I'm not really gonna fight you guys. Everyone's allowed their opinion. You're just wrong. Critical Role isn't as good as NADPOD. I'm just kidding, but not really. Okay.
I don't watch either, so.
Crazy. You need to be a NADPOD. Like, you will love NADPOD, Zane. You will love it. And you will.
I will be your ally.
You will. Well, I think you'll like it because there's so. I don't know. When we're talking about characters, and I think how I enjoy like how kind of like the game. I guess I just glom onto that game style. Whenever I watch Critical Role,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like the attention should always be on the players. And the focus should be the players and the story. And I don't always feel that that's the focus. Anyway, that's just my opinion. I'm not saying Critical Role isn't brilliant. It's just not as brilliant. It's not my favorite cup of tea, right? If I had the choice to drink Cantrip Coffee, right, or Starbucks, I'm gonna choose Cantrip Coffee. For example, Starbucks has good coffee. Cantrip has better coffee. Boom. There. That'll put a little. I've just warmed the cockles of Derek's heart, but it's true. I will also share a quick Cantrip story. Bye, Tina. I see you trying to leave out there. I'm looking forward to seeing what you come up with. I hope you have a fantastic freaking holiday. Enjoy yourself. Treat yourself. Relax.
I don't think she's actually leaving. I just said bye, Tina, because she's drinking more wine.
Oh, drink more. Oh, that's perfect. You're not. Yeah.
But yeah, I don't listen to D&D podcasts. The only one I really listen to is Crit Crab, and that's just horror stories, pretty much.
Crit Crab. Crit Crab. I gotta check out Crit Crab.
He runs a Reddit, I think, and people submit their D&D horror stories, and he reads them. And
What's
then
the horror story? Like, what do you mean? Like, what kind of? When you say horror story, what do you mean?
Like bad DMing situations, or bad players, or situations where they're not meshing well, and that kind of stuff. And he'll rate it on a scale of if it's more a horror story or if it's comedic, that kind of thing. But it's entertaining. I listen to it when I'm at work, when I'm not listening to the Crazy Crafter live stream. So,
boom. Yeah, I'll have to check out Crit Crab. I'll have to check out Crit Crab. Although I don't know if I want to hear like. I've heard horror stories too of other folks about their D&D experience, and that makes me sad. It makes me sad that people have got a negative experience, or that people have like misused it. I've also heard of people like using it as like, yeah, it can get dicey. I will say, oh, go ahead.
No, I was laughing. You said dicey.
Nah. I don't know if Casey's still doing her thing at Dicey Times. I hope she is. I haven't checked her subscription. She started that during the pandemic, and I thought it was absolutely brilliant. I got 2 gift boxes from Dicey Times when I was... Nice. One was sent to me, and the other I bought. And I bought stuff for Ben and mixed it together. It was really cool. Dice boxes.
Nice.
Dungeon Matron, I've tried watching it and definitely made it to my watch list that I will get to eventually. Is this Critical Role? Or are you talking about something else, Mini Mason? I don't know. Mason
she mentioned Relics
and Rarities.
Yeah.
Relics and Rarities stream. Oh, Relics and Rarities? They stream? I'm all about the live streamers. I like me some live streaming. I'll have to check out Relics and Rarities. Writing it down. See, this is good. Relics and Rarities. Okay. So. Now that we have we've done a really good job at not building anything on this stream about talking about all of it. Let's talk about, is Ghostwise in the book there, bud? Is it in?
What was that?
Is Ghostwise in the Halfling book?
It is.
Or in the Halfling book, in the player's handbook? Where's that at?
Go under Halfling for a race.
Yep.
And then it's down. Let me go back. Under.
You got a page?
Hold on. I'm on my online version.
Oh.
Halfling traits. If you go down, it should be.
It
should be under the traits. It'll be the next thing after languages. I don't have a page number, unfortunately. Because I'm on D&D Beyond. I'm on the digital book.
Lightfoot or Stout?
Oh, it might be on the new edition.
Oh. Okay. Well, that's okay. I can look.
Yeah, because I have Ghostwise, Lightfoot, Lotuston, and Mark of Healing, Mark of Hospitality, and Stout.
Wow.
So,
Well, boo.
yeah.
This one. Well, there you go. Now we know.
But I can send it to you.
Ooh, send it to me. Send it to me. Okay. So, here's what I'm gonna do. I definitely am gonna be a halfling. I'm gonna be a halfling because everyone else is a halfling, and I want Carl to wrangle a bunch of unruly halflings. So that's gonna happen.
Right.
Good luck, Carl. Good luck keeping us all in line. It'll be fun. But what class? What do you guys think I should run? I know I saw that earlier, Michael. You said if you're gonna roll the cleric, that I'm gonna bring the pain. I see you. I see you threatening out there, trying to say you're gonna mess us up. You haven't played with me, bro. You haven't played with me. You don't know. You don't know how wily I can be.
Just because I want to hear you sing more, I think you should be a bard.
I thought about that, but we don't have a healer.
Can't you be a healing bard?
I mean,
I don't know. I don't know how D&D works.
How is there a build? So we'll lean on Derek out there. We'll lean on Dungeon Matron. We'll lean on Lucy and Michael. Should I? Can I build a healing bard? Is that something I can do? Relics and Rarities. Derek is saying it's awesome. Deborah Ann Wolf as DM. It is so. If so, it is so sick. She's an incredible DM. Yes, she's an awesome DM. She's my muse. Wow, everyone's getting up there. But I do and don't agree with you, Colin. Players should be a huge part of the focus, but not always. If you only focus on the players, where do your stories intertwine and how do you create a world around them? That's a great question, right? I think I agree with you too, Minnie Mason. I think when I say it should be focused around that, I feel even as you're creating and building the world around them, I think you incorporate them in the build, right? How he's having them be a focal point. My comment earlier was, I feel like there is a. I feel like whenever you put the focus, like there's I don't know. It's this weird place for a DM to be, right? Because you are a focal point and you're such an integral part of the game. But I feel like it's easy to place the DM and to elevate yourself to a high, like I think to like make yourself perceived as a not a higher class as it were, but like put yourself on a higher pedestal because you are DMing. And I feel like I just get that feeling with Mercer. That's the feeling I get. Like I am the DM and I am the like I always feel like he is the focus. That's the feeling that I get from it. And again, not saying he's a bad DM, because I think he comes up with amazing storytelling. I love all his character work, but it's, I know he is a special focus, and like there, Mercer is a brand. He is a brand of D&D, and Critical Role is part of that brand, and Mercer is a huge reason of that. But I don't know. It's just for my, I don't know. That's kind of my take on it. I think everything should be player driven and built around the players to make sure that world, I don't know, is focused on them. Sometimes I feel it's a little bit of showboaty, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with showboaty.
We got some answers.
Let's see it.
Derek says, I'd say some bard builds are better at healing than some cleric builds. Dungeon Matron says bards can cast Healing Word, give them a medicine background. Michael says as bard levels up, they can become quite good healers.
But I'm a level 1 bard.
Yeah. Well, and I gave it a quick Google, and it said be a lore bard, get Healing Spirit at level 6, but I don't think that's happening
level
in our
1.
campaign.
That's another thing we should probably preface and let everyone know. We're level 1 characters in this one shot. We're level 1.
Yep. Danny West. Why are we doing the philosophical D&D day without me?
You're here. Call in, bro.
Join us.
Hold on. We're about to spice things up. Call in. You don't have to jump on the video, but call in. Lore Bard. Why are we? I knew for a fact Danny was gonna be like, "Gosh darn it! Why are you doing philosophical?" I knew in my heart of hearts that that was gonna happen right now. Which is why it's accessible for you to call in and get it all out, baby. However long you got. You got 5 minutes. You got 10 minutes. Get it out, Danny. Here's nigh is the time. But level 1 bard build that can heal. I'm all for it.
So spoken word, is that a level 1? Maybe. Yes. Let me look.
Danny, why are we doing the philosophical D&D day without me? I heart you so much, Danny. Healing word is greater than cure wounds. Okay. This is good. This is good. Healing word. And as someone who watches Crow, I concur that Matt
it is a first level spell.
But in my opinion, that's how it should be because he is role playing everyone else in the world.
So healing word is a level 1 bonus action casting time, 60-foot range, duration instantaneous. Cool. Available for bard, cleric, druid, and alchemist.
Oh shoot. I keep sharing the D&D Beyond thing, thinking that that's the right thing. It's not. Hold on, Danny. I'm like, Danny, it's right there. No, he's like, no, it's not. It's not there. I don't know what's happening. Too funny. Here we go, buddy. It's coming in. we're about to go to school, everyone.
Dungeon Matron says Bard isn't a good choice for healing if you're running level 1 characters.
Right. That's my thought. I mean,
Tina
healing
says
is really rough for anyone at level 1. Tina says she's a healer? Oh. Well, fuck it. Maybe I'll be a bard. This is the best talk radio ever.
The classic bard.
The best talk radio ever. Well, if you guys think it's the best talk radio ever, don't forget to like the video, like the stream. Yeah, hit that like button. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. If you're new to the Crazy Crafter live stream, this is new content. This is new stuff for us. We haven't delved directly into D&D chatter before, but this entire foam family and community is not going to shy away from sharing their awesome opinions and character builds. So we're more than happy to have your input and feedback on here. So if you like this type of content and you like today's stream, let us know. Put a comment below and let us know because this is new. We're trudging through new territory, and we're gonna.
And if you're new to Crazy Crafter, subscribe.
It's true. You should. Mini Mason is saying that as someone who watches Critical Role religiously, I concur Matt takes some space. Yes, he does. But in my opinion, that's how it should be. Fair. Because he is role-playing everyone else in the world. Right? That's true. I just feel like there's this great balance that a DM needs to have of taking the stage, but not hoarding it for themselves. It's not about you, right? Much like so here's another lens that and again, this is what's great about all this conversation. I love it, Slavko. Is D&D is a theatrical event. It is a theatrical event that takes place with everyone role-playing live, with improvisation, with planning, and if you're depending on the table, and a lot of our tables include a lot of theatricality. We have moving set pieces. Sebastian has at Atmoseeker, he's got all of it. It is a theatrical production, right? But all of D&D is a theatrical production, no matter how immense or small the technical components are. And at the end of the day, is he trying to get in? At the end of the day, the it's a collaborative art form, and it's a collaborative game, and I think like sometimes I feel I feel like it's a little bit, and again, the director is important, and the DM is many things, right? And for certainly a director, but more on that later. We'll keep talking about it. I love the conversation that we're having. Danny,
am I here? Am I working?
Do I work? You're here, buddy.
I'm on summer break. I actually am not at work today.
Oh my gosh!
Like,
I should have just had, like, you 1000% should have been on this stream with us then.
That's okay.
Take my place. Here, go back. No.
You're doing a one shot. When are you doing this one shot?
We don't know.
10 to 2.
It's 10. We're trying to figure it out. Scheduling folks from around the world in different time zones with life resuming is challenging.
And who's DMing this?
Oh,
this? Michael Patterson of Not One Videos?
Yes, he's
DMing.
He's DMing. Isn't
and
that wild?
Who's playing?
Who's all playing? Zane's in it.
Me, Tina, Slavko. Carl.
Ooh.
Yep.
And what's the party composition so far? I know that you are a bard, Mr. Bressy.
It's not decided yet, so this is a great way for us.
The point of this stream was to create characters.
But it's you'll be shocked. It's veered off course just slightly, Danny. What? Never. So we're trying to figure out like what characters to create. Now, randomly, without coordinating it all, Danny, Carl is playing a human barbarian, and everyone else is a halfling so far, except mine, because I haven't decided. But then I was just like, there's this idea of Carl traveling with a band of halflings makes me happy.
Yeah,
and
I like that there's like
that's important.
The visual aesthetic of sort of like a Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs thing.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, Carl Snow White. Carl,
Yeah.
you're
Carl,
Snow
please
White.
play a girl.
You're Snow White. That's great.
Oh
my god.
I like that aesthetically. Yeah, and so you've got the beefy tank. Do you know what particular flavor of barbarian he's going with?
I don't. But it's these are good questions, right? Because they totally impact and influence what I want to do. Because that's what I like to do for a one shot, Danny. I like to know what everyone. I don't need to know details, but I want to know what everyone else is doing, and then support the group from there. And also, what is going to create a delicious amount of conflict, but also fun possibilities with what I bring to the table.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
Zane, where are you leaning? What do you want to be when you grow up?
So I was leaning towards a halfling ranger.
Sure.
But I don't know. I have the potential of swaying other ways. We'll see.
And which have you looked at the subclasses for ranger? Because I certainly have some favorites. But it all like some of them really shine.
Let me look what I got in my character.
Scenario, you know what I mean?
I know. Well, it's level 1. If that changes anything. But...
Right. Level 1. So you're not going to unlock archetypes until level 3. So.
Real quick, just to touch upon. Michael is saying he would have loved to have made it the party larger, but and he's hoping no one feels left out from our community and everyone. Listen, here's the thing: one shots are one shots, and the cool thing about one shots is it would be great to just get this going on a regular basis and try to make this a regular thing. So rotating people in and out, whoever wants to play and join, I think is a great idea. So. If we didn't get, just there would be no doubt in my mind that I would not jump at every possibility to share space and play D&D with everyone here who is right now tuning into this live stream, right? But It's hard to do for a one shot, and it is the first, but not the last. If anything, the pandemic has taught us all how to have a decent game of D&D online in a virtual setting, and we'll do more of them. It's gonna be many of them. So I'm hoping, I'm looking forward to those opportunities because, I mean, Danny, you're close by. Like we're resuming in-person play on June 18th. So at some point here, whenever we do a one shot or get something going, I'm certainly calling. I'm like, Danny, what are you doing? Come play.
I would love to play a Danny West game.
I would too.
I've heard your voices.
I can think of one particular Daniel West that felt left out when he found out that there was a one shot getting put together. I was like, but Danny, but where's Danny in that?
Oh man, like it's all good. There will be. It is the first of many, my friend. It is the first of many, and worry not. And what else? There's other folks like he's not hoarding it. And if you do watch Critical Role, you'd know, man, because a lot of times there's just conversations with the two players that go on for an hour, and everyone else is amazed by it. Mini Mason, you feel very strongly about Critical Role, and I love that you are a devoted fan, and I'm glad you like it. And I am merely nitpicking at little things that strike me with Mercer. And I think Critical Role is amazing, and it has brought so much awesomeness to the community and the world. I love it. Don't get me wrong. I am a fan. I have little things that I'm just like, this is what I like. And I think I like the format too. Critical Role is different because they stream it and they video it. That's different. And I think the difference for me too is I really like, man, I like the podcast format where I don't get to see it. I just get to hear it, and I get to build it with my imagination. And you still do the same with the live stream and the like, all that format. It's a combination of all those things.
Well, and I think that's where Critical Role shines because you got the voice acting and there's a group that's 100% willing to yes and through just about anything. Yeah,
it's brilliant. I'm not saying Critical Role isn't brilliant. I'm just saying I like NADPOD better.
What do you like better?
Not another D&D podcast.
Oh, I see. I've never listened. I should.
No. Did you know that they have, I think, the most Patreon subscribers of anyone on Patreon?
What?
They have a lot. It's a big following, and I'm not saying that constitutes them that, like, it's just it's awesome to me, and it's inspiring that they took something that they love and they crafted that passion and they turned it into an empire, a business empire, and they are playing D&D for a living.
You clearly don't have to say that they are going to be right for everybody, but at the very least they're doing something right if they can have that many people back them up.
Yeah,
right.
They're cool, and they do. I also like I'd love to go one of their live shows when it's safe to do so again, and we're able to gather. They've traveled the country, and I think they've gone to Canada. They may have gone to Canada too, but they've traveled around and they've done live shows too, where they will they'll record the show in front of they'll basically do a one shot. They'll do a one shot live with their favorite characters, in front of the audience, and it's a lot of fun. They roll this giant D20 on stage for some of the big rolls. It's really cool.
Cool. That's awesome.
Anyway,
is it weighted?
I don't know. I'm assuming it is.
Animated Spellbook just did a great video that released today about how to pick your D20s at the shop.
Oh,
about
really?
Dungeon Matron is asking if we're streaming this one shot. I don't know.
There was talks of it, but I don't know if it's happening or not.
Would that be something you guys want to have happen?
Quite obviously. So I want to talk D&D more. I want to talk about you guys.
Okay.
So the question was Bard a healer?
Yes.
When I was
Correct.
trying to mute you guys, I think like Bard is one of the coolest classes, period.
Okay.
Just from a utility caster standpoint.
Yep.
No.
Like every other caster is supposedly a thing, right? It's supposedly a thing. None of them are, right? But like the Bard is just so versatile in that it does a little bit of everything. And with the exception of you're really not going to lay down a ton of damage, right? Like that's not what the Bard is going to do, but you're going to get all these cool ways of making everybody else shine, which is sort of feels like contrary to what you would think of a bard, right? It should be like me, right? Because I'm the bard, look at me all the time. But like you're going to do all sorts of control spells to like shut people down so that your barbarian can get in there and like wreck stuff, right? You're going to cast the healing word, and then you're going to cast the healing word, pick somebody up as your bonus action, then vicious mockery somebody else, so the next time that somebody attacks they get advantage on them, right? Like you're doing all of these things that let you like back the party up, which I think is just like solid. And then you're great in all the social situations, so you get that whole role-playing side of things too. I think the bard's a great class.
I think it's a good choice for Colin.
Yeah,
Zane just wants to hear me sing.
I do.
Zane just wants to hear me sing. Danny, it's like you're right here with me on the stream. You're like my conscience. You're like my D&D conscience. I don't know if you're watching the stream as well, but if you it should have popped up already if you haven't seen it.
wait, what
Are you watching the stream?
I am currently watching did you like pet the
I did. I pet it. It's just like you popped up. You're like my Jiminy Cricket.
I got
my
you.
little Jiminy Cricket right there. Yeah. I like the idea of the bard. I think the bard is an awesome class, and I think it would be a ton of fun. So here's, man, I've made a choice as a player that I will not play what?
I said, haven't we all? But go.
I know, right? I will not play a bard unless I learn an instrument for the role.
Yeah.
So I have to have an instrument that I play. Now, currently,
presumably the keytar, right?
Holy
Oh no,
shit.
a keytar, sir. I want full 80s synth action.
So there's a couple different things that I really want to like. One of these days, I'm gonna learn like a legit, like I think for my next campaign, whenever that is, we're ways off. But my next campaign, I want to be a bard and I want to learn an instrument, legit. I'm going to pick the instrument and start learning it here soon, so I can actually play whenever. Like I want to get fucking good, and I want to not tell anyone what instrument it is. I just want to show up and bust that shit out in the middle of the game and blow everyone's fucking mind. That's what I want to do. Yeah. Yeah. So currently, I can play one instrument decently, and I will, if I go bard, that's what I'll be doing for the one shot.
We're getting suggested instruments in the chat.
Oh Jesus!
Recorder, spoons, acoustic guitar.
Hold on, scissors.
Stylophone.
Hold on, it'll be.
Do a triangle. There you go.
So there is still some concern in the chat about level 1.
What's the concern?
Well, frankly, just that level 1 you can't do anything.
It's true.
Yeah, I start games at level 3 pretty consistently, only because level 3 is where the characters start to feel different, right? Like, well, like frankly, a fighter and a ranger and a paladin and a barbarian all kind of feel the same at level 1.
Right.
You know,
Right.
Which is fine if you're working with people that are trying to learn mechanically. And it looks like Tina's trying to get in, and she doesn't know. This is her first game, right? Is that my understanding?
That is correct.
Yeah.
I think that's why we went with level 1, so that we could just introduce her to the mechanics at least, or the story backgrounds, but
Which I think is fair. I started my campaign with my family that had 3 of the people had never played before, and we started at level 3, and it didn't seem like too big of a deal.
I think my first game I started at level 5.
Which I think is actually a big deal. I think the jump to 5, once you start getting 3rd level spells and stuff, I think that's a much bigger deal. But I think that being able, I think that maybe if I was playing a campaign, I might start over again at level 1 if I was playing with new players, and I would start one-shots at level 3. Because you want a well-rounded character that does something in a one-shot.
Yeah.
Right? Whereas in a campaign, I think maybe it's better to start at level 1 with new players, just so they aren't committing themselves to the subclass. Right? Like, my sister-in-law who plays the druid, we went back and changed her subclass in my campaign because we sort of dialed that in.
Wow.
Because we started at level 3 and then went like, you know what? I was wrong. This is not how you actually want to play. This is not how you want to play a druid. We should go back. And if we had started at level 1, she would have known sort of what she liked about the character before she had to make that subclass choice, which is I think is one of the biggest choices you make.
Right.
For your character. It's sort of
I know.
the level 3 choice. But if you're playing a one-shot, what, you got 4 hours with that and you don't, you know what I mean? It's like, well, that was a bad choice, but we're done.
I'm seeing here in the chat, I'm seeing that it's true. Derek is saying that you don't need to be, you can be poets. I think we talked about that earlier. That's pretty cool. Be poet, a singer or a dancer. I'm going to be a triple threat bard. I'm going to do all the above. And then I am also, like everyone's saying, Slavko's saying I like the games that start at level 1. I do too. And then we played a one-shot that was kind of, it was a bit of it gave ourselves a break. We were in the middle of that large battle in our campaign of Handlish where we were fighting the army, and it was like a 3-month part. It was like 6 to 8 sessions of that chapter. It was a long time in Handlish, and this battle was it was all just this battle for the city. It was wild. So we took a little break.
Has spoken.
Michael has spoken. Level 3 it is.
Level 3.
You converted him, which is good. I think level 3 will be fun. But we did that one shot. We created level 15 characters. And that was fucking dope. Because we got to create level 15 characters. It's also a little bit daunting because there's so much to learn with a new character and to master it on the for a one shot, depending on how much time you have to prep. Now we had some time to prep, so we had a little bit of a better idea of what we were going to do going in, and that was a ton. I love high level one shots. I think they're great. Not saying you should make it level 15, Michael, but level 3 I think is it's definitely worth considering because, and I'm glad to hear you say that, because that does allow for a little bit more flavor in the character creation and what we're able to do. And also I think that also takes, what you can throw at us a little bit more too, right? Where we're not just fighting oh, look at this spider, it's attacking us, right? Like I think level 1 is hard because you don't want to kill your players off. Level 3 you got a little more oomph to you and a little more options.
I think that to that point, especially caster classes really have a hard time playing at level 1.
Yeah.
A, they're super squishy. B, their resource pool is tiny, right? Like, the ranger's never going to run out of arrows. The sword is going to keep working for the barbarian or the fighter, right? But you get so few spell slots, so you're throwing cantrips if you have a full adventuring day pretty easily. And yeah, I just think level 3 is the thing, man.
But to go back to level 1 with building a campaign, it's good, especially for new players, because it teaches you there's a chance that you can run or you can leave. You don't have to fight everything, so you have to balance: is it good for you to fight or is it good for you to leave? You got to weigh your options. So
here's one for you, Danny and Zane. Gilbert, who's joined the stream here.
Who designed my logo? Nice. My cartoon character logo. Thank you.
Bravo, Gil. That is an awesome logo, by the way. Huge fan of that logo. Gilbert's talking about he wants a cool Ranger Dragonborn, but he said it's his favorite race, but he doesn't know how to build it. So do we have any suggestions for Gil out there in the chat, everyone? Danny, Zane, myself included. You get some really cool stuff. The breath weapons are dope, right? Is that a bonus action you get, or is it an action I think you can take? Probably. I think it's
they actually
Fire
rewrote
breath is the first one.
They rewrote the Dragonborn recently. They gave you a different option for it. I'm not sure if it came out of Unearthed Arcana or if it's actually like official. I can't remember. Some of the later books I just don't own or haven't read through enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they changed the lineages and stuff to work slightly differently for the breath weapons.
Yes.
But I think that if breath weapons being dope is the sort of crux of why we like that, then I would be leaning towards something that is going to really excel at the 2-weapon fighting, probably, right?
Yeah.
Which is, if you're gonna do the ranger thing, it's like really you got the 2 categories, right? You've got shooting things from a distance, and you've got the 2-weapon fighting version of it. I mean, you can do sword and board stuff, but I don't know why you would. So I think that if you are in that category and you want to get your breath weapon off, it's a 15-foot range at maximum, which is going to be outside of your comfy bow shooting place.
Right.
So I'd probably be building something that's going to use that 2-weapon fighting. And then as far as subclasses go, see, my favorite is the Gloomstalker. Period. I think Gloomstalker is probably the best ranger subclass. Period. That being said, the reworked Beastmaster is cool especially if you're going the melee route, because then you can get that help action to give yourself advantage, which I think is sweet. If you're gonna play any place that is going to use your dark vision at all or require people to use dark vision, I just can't think of a better class than Gloomstalker. Period. Because you're invisible to anybody who uses dark vision. Right?
Right.
So that's all advantage. Everything you come in is advantage.
Do we know? Oh, go ahead, real quick, Dan. Do we know a Tom Thompson? Tom Thompson is trying to enter the room right now to call in. That's cool.
I don't know Tom Thompson.
All right, we're gonna click Tom Thompson in here, and we're gonna invite Tom Thompson. We'll see what happens here. Tom Thompson, coming in. Make sure your video is muted there, my friend. And then you're on there. Are you there, Tom?
Connecting to audio.
Connecting to audio. Great. Tom, are you there?
It's just us connecting on my side.
Still connecting? All right. We'll see if Tom comes in. Is Tom there? Hello, Tom.
Still connecting.
Still connecting.
But on the Dragonborn, I see on the player's handbook that the breath weapon depends on the type of dragon you are. So black dragon is acid, blue dragon is lightning, brass fire, that kind of thing.
It still says connecting to audio. I don't know what's going on, Tom.
Oh, boo.
But let's see. Tasha's Cauldron of Everything brought out the Fey Wanderer, and I think the Fey Wanderer is pretty sweet. It lets you add a D4 to one attack every round, just cause. You get to add your wisdom modifier to all charisma checks, which is just good, just blatantly good. You can dump charisma and still be halfway decent at persuasion, which I think is good. And Tom, I just don't know what's going on.
I'm putting in the chat there. I don't want to boot him yet, because if I boot him, he can't come back. I think I have to send him another invite. I don't think he can rejoin the meeting, so I don't want to boot him yet.
You might have to adjust your microphone or select your microphone from the list.
Yeah, that might be it, Tom. Keep trying. You can also try leave. I mean, you can leave and come back. I think if you leave, you can still be invited back. So try that. If you can hear us, Tom, re-enter. Try re-entering, and then we'll get you. We'll try to get you here on the stream with Zane and Danny and I.
I have a feeling you want to tell me that I'm wrong, and that's fine.
I hope. Who knows? So what will be the best stat for the Ranger? I always thought it was going to be Dex. What's the best stat?
You're gonna choose. So you got 3 stats. Every character has 3 stats they care about typically, and it just depends on what class it is. Right. One of them is always Constitution. Right. Mm-hmm. So one of them is always Constitution, but that's kind of like the third one. Yeah. But you're probably choosing Dex and then Wisdom, and then Con, or Dex, Con, and then Wisdom, because your spell casting is based on Wisdom, as well as things like Perception, which is just the best, most important skill in the entire game. So, yeah, if you're gonna do 2 weapon fighting, you're probably doing it with 2 light weapons. So that's gonna be off of your Dex, stat. And if you're shooting, it's gonna be on your Dex stat. So, Dex, Wisdom, and then Constitution, because everybody needs hit points.
Derek is saying Tom Thompson is Matt Mercer coming to tell Colin what he thinks of his comments earlier. I kind of had that thought too. It was just like, Tom Thompson is like, someone spoke ill of Critical Role, like everyone's like coming out. I don't. It's not that I don't not like Critical Role. It's not my favorite. I prefer Nad.
Well, frankly, if anything that I've seen of Matt Mercer is true, he would just smile and like shrug at you, because he's genuinely one of the nicest people I've ever seen on the internet. Right. Period. Ever.
Which is he's an extremely talented dude, and he gets to play D&D for a living. I'm jelly.
I had one interaction with him once at WonderCon, and he was just delightful. And it was like not a verbal communication or anything. He had a panel at WonderCon one year, and as he and Marisha were leaving, his vehicle stopped at the intersection that we were at and had to wait for us to walk past. And I had that moment of walking across the street, looked at the car and went, Matt Mercer? And I waved at him, and he got the excited face on and waved back at me, and I was like, I like Matt Mercer. I like you, Matt.
See?
You're cool.
This is good. So Tom Thompson, don't call in and yell at me for dissing Critical Role. Let's see.
Well, if he is in fact Matt Mercer, he won't yell at you.
I don't think he will. That'd be amazing. That'd be hilarious if Matt Mercer called in. I'd be like,
well, we're still trying to sort out Tom. Gil, did that answer your question?
Yes.
Awesome. I'm taking this all in. Also, what was the name of the D&D podcast? I missed it.
Not Another D&D Podcast, or NADPod. NADDPOD. Don't sing. Anyway, that's part of their exit on their outro.
Is it D and D?
Not Another D and D Podcast. Yeah, not it's NA it's NADDPOD. Not Another D&D Podcast.
And Tom, I'm sorry, I just don't know why the audio is not connecting.
Yeah, I don't know why either. I don't know why. We'll try it again. We'll try it again at another time.
Thanks for trying.
Thanks for trying, Tom. Thanks for trying, Tom. Come, don't let that, like, if you're in the chat, let us know. And if you got a question down there in the chat, put it in the chat. Like, that's gonna be a big help for us too.
Well, hopefully that information is useful, Gil, and that you're not like, you take your ranger to the table and say like, well, it would have been good if Danny West hadn't given me the worst.
Yeah, Danny West ruined your Dragonborn Ranger build. No, that'll be fun. That's a fun build. That'll be a fun build. We have a Dragonborn fighter in our party. Kazella.
Yeah, Dragonborn is cool.
Kazella. That is our big dumb brute. Kazella.
Yeah, so if you're playing at level 3 with Michael though, now you have to pick a subclass.
Michael, more work. No. Okay.
I know, right? Subclass.
That's just the funness.
I'm looking up Bard. Let me look up Bard. Let me look it up. This is happening.
Okay, so that would be what? Fey Wanderer, Gloomstalker, Horizon Walker, that kind of thing?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Though, also it has to be something that was from the original book, right? That was the parameter.
Oh, then none of those are in that. So it has to be an original
to 5e, I believe, or in the player's handbook.
Oh, I see.
Because I have all the books, so everything's just together on my screen.
Let's see. So if you,
no, I gotta make it difficult.
I mean, I could also do this too. I'm gonna do this.
If you're going Ranger, I'll be honest, I don't actually like many of the Player's Handbook Rangers. They were generally accepted that Player's Handbook only, they were sort of the worst class that got put into the Player's Handbook. Like,
cool. Fitting.
I mean, sorry, that's
on brand, Danny. That's fine. That works. No.
That being said, if it's a one shot, you're gonna be with them for 4 hours. So, they revamped the Beastmaster, and that's a pretty good option. If you can use the revamped version of it, in which case Flying Snake is the best.
Just the name.
Yeah, a flying snake, right?
I got a snake.
Let's see. You can.
No, I think my quirk of my character is I only shoot silverware with my bow. So no.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's brilliant.
I'm gonna steal it all from the inn that we're meeting at, or tavern, and no. Let's make it fun. Luke Gwen has a question. Are there any sudden jumps in class tiers, or is it pretty smooth progression? It's years since I played, and I remember some sudden jumps.
So 5e works in like the concept of like tiered play, right? So that's a concept in at least 5th edition. I don't know about the earlier editions, but every 5 levels, it's sort of like supposed to be kind of a different game. Now, I would say that level 5 is certainly like a big jump. Because third level spells are just ridiculously better than second level spells. I mean, that's where Fireball comes in, right?
Fireball.
And that's when you unlock 2 attacks. That's when you unlock, oh, hey, Pocket T's coming in basically with the same deal.
Yep.
And I think that like it's a level 11. I think we're in the cantrip bumps again. So really like tier 2 or whatever starts.
Oh, it's Dungeon Matron.
Oh, Dungeon Matron. We'll try again. We'll put it up here for you. Try again. See if you can get in. It said Tom Thompson was trying to join, and we were like, Tom Thompson, you're welcome, but then it always just said connecting audio. Try it again. See if we can get you in here, Dungeon Matron. I'm looking up the different is it only the College of Lore?
If you're looking at the base entry on like D&D Beyond,
yeah, it only has that one.
They only have that one, but there are multiple. I'm trying to remember the Player's Handbook ones. Give me a second.
I'm looking at the College of Lore. So the College of Lore
is the best.
Is the best.
It's a great all-rounder. Gives you extra skill proficiencies, gives you expertise, eventually gives you magical secrets earlier. It's probably not I think College of Eloquence, which came out in, I know it's in Tasha's. College of Eloquence is probably like the bardiest bard, and it's just straight good.
The bardiest of bards.
Yeah, at level 3, you get something very similar to the rogue's reliable talent, and if you roll below a 10 on either a deception or persuasion check, it becomes a 10. So you are the smooth talkingest player ever. Like, you have to be. And that comes online at level 3, which is just insane. College of Lore's Player Handbook. What else is Player's Handbook? It's a College of Valor, which is sort of like a melee bard. Is it just the 2 of them?
I don't know.
I'm re-scrolling through the article I opened, but I think it's just the 2 of them. But College of Lore is just good. It's just good. That's probably what I'd be going with.
Dungeon Matron, it's not a waste of time. Like, we'd love to have you on the stream and chat. Keep going the discussion and waste it. It's not a waste of time. You can join. Yeah, it could be the mic selection. Zane's right. Just saying connecting to the audio. Just got to make sure the right one's connected. John Hosenfeld just sent me a message earlier saying, I just created my Ranger band for Rangers of Shadow Deep campaign. What did you... Can you tell us more about that, John? You can put that in the chat there. I'm curious to hear what John's done with that Ranger band, and with more folks. Gail, this is awesome. Like your idea and concept of the Dragonborn Ranger is great. What else are you all building out there? What else? What other characters you guys working on? I'm anxious to hear. Dungeon Matron, if you don't want to join the Zoom, certainly put up whatever you had in the chat. We've got a few minutes left here on the stream today, and we'd love to chat about it. But if this is content and material that you've enjoyed today on the live stream, us chatting a little bit about D&D character creation, I've got more ideas about content to do during the weekday, because I love crafting, but I also love talking D&D. So I'll happily talk all day long. And I think I have some really cool ideas about future discussions, and I think it would be great to have all of you be a part of them. Like, I know folks get nervous about role-playing and, like, how to role-play. Like, what do I do? Because, not everyone's like, I'm not a performer, I'm not an actor, and I'm like, you don't need to be any of those things. Like, everything that you do in the game is like perfect as is. It doesn't matter. But I have some cool pointers that I think I can help you out along the way that'll be important, and that will enhance your experience playing the game, and will also add more to the game. Just like little pointers of like creating a backstory. Like, what does that mean? What do I create? What are the specifics that I create? So I'm thinking about doing one on creating backstory. Thinking about doing one that focuses on the physical actions, like specifically with combat and how you play, and giving you ideas to help inspire you as you play to get you more specific with the choices that you make to articulate the best story possible. So I think it'd be some fun stuff.
I will say Richard from RPG Daily, he has some great videos on
all
creation,
right?
DMing, all that stuff.
That is my next advice. You're reading my mind, brother. Like, that's really, if you enjoy this type of stream and this content, you 1000% need to head over to the RPG Daily and give Richard Quiner a check on his channel, because he's got lots of content, both for DMs but also as a player, like, and creating stuff for one shots. That's where I've gone for my inspiration for all the characters and the one shots. I've gone to Richard's channel, perused his stuff, and he does a great job breaking down some of the benefits from each individual classes and what their abilities are. So it's a great resource. Zane is so right. So head on over and check out his channel. Subscribe to his channel, because he's got a lot of really cool content.
And as far as role playing, if you're new to it or anxious about it, just be yourself, or try and build a character around yourself, and then just get immersed and just heighten yourself. Be a heightened version of yourself.
There you go.
There are actually a lot of fun tricks to get past that initial hurdle. I think that probably the silliest is to come up with a catchphrase.
There you go.
I think that coming up with a catchphrase for your character that you can slip in at all of the right and or wrong times is probably one of the funnest and easiest ways. Like my favorite character that I play, Desmond de la Vega, he says, "Gentlemen, ladies," all the time, with a little wink to the ladies. Every single time he enters the room. And as soon as you get comfortable with a person, like being that person who says that thing every single time you start the conversation, it's suddenly you just, what's the next thing they say? You know, like you throw the next thing that's as that person as you can get, and it just becomes easier and easier.
Zane, your character that you're playing right now, quickly, what would your catchphrase be? Go. For your main campaign.
Oh, you like that?
No. Very nice, very lovely. I guess mine would have to be time to headbutt a dick. There we go.
For sure.
That's mine. That's mine. Actually, what is it? That whole clickety clackety. I roll to attackety. I kind of like that. I think mine would be clickety clackety, because as soon as you know clickety clackety, you know I'm going to attackety. I like all of them. Although time to headbutt a dick is pretty amazing too.
Dungeon Matron.
What?
Apparently, I'm married to Matt Mercer. LOL. Tom Thompson's my husband's Zoom account.
You could do a lot worse, Dungeon Matron.
That's true. That's true. Well, this has been an amazing time getting to chat with Zane, Danny, and all of you out there in the Foam family, getting to see what characters you've come up with, what other characters you're thinking about creating. Gail, thanks for jumping in. Dungeon Matron, thanks for all of your insight. Like, there are a ton of everyone who's here on the stream today is over on the Crazy Crafter Discord. There's a link to the description of the Crazy Crafter Discord and below. You can click that link and join the Discord. You can access and reach out to all these folks. I know Derek's in there all the time, and Derek's a phenomenal resource, as well as Danny, for any DMing that you might have. Richard is in our Discord as well, and it's just a great resource. So if you haven't joined the Discord, stop on over, join. It costs nothing.
For everyone.
There's something for everyone, 100%, and you can track and get to see all the amazing works that people are producing, which we'll definitely take a look at on Friday's stream, and we'd love to have you become a part of the Foam family there. In addition to that, if you have not done so, there's a link to Zane Morgan Crafts, Zane's YouTube channel down there below. Zane Morgan Crafts. He's also got an Etsy store, so if you are a 3D printing fanatic and you can't get enough of terrain for your hobbying, you need to head on over and check out some of Zane's wares at his Etsy store. He's designing his own STLs. He's walked us through those, how to do that on this channel. He's also got his own content walking you through on it. Head on over, give Zane Morgan Crafts some love and support, and then in just a few short minutes, in about 30 minutes, we'll be premiering your latest video this week. So
yep. So I have a premiere going on my channel, and it's my longest intro video. I do intro skits, if you don't know, on my channel, and it features the Mini Mason. So come join us, hang out. It also has a live chat like this, and just tell me how dumb it is.
Well, we'll happily...
Exactly dumb enough.
Yeah, exactly dumb enough. Danny West, thank you so much for jumping on. I'm so glad that you were on summer vacay and that you
not as glad as I am. Oh my God, not as glad as I am.
Always a joy to hang out with you. Michael from Nat One Videos, thanks for moderating today, my friend. Thanks for hanging out there. Thank you, all of you out there in the chat. We will be back on Friday with some more live streaming. We'll get back into some more crafting, and we'll jump on there. And then we're still figuring out everything for this. I'm trying to figure out the time. It's my son's last t-ball game, and then the stream will be able to be a set time on Saturdays. So stay tuned. I'm trying to figure all that out today, and then we'll also reveal the guest for this week at that time too. So very excited for that. Thank you all as always for joining. Zane, always a pleasure. Danny, always a pleasure. Looking forward to hanging out with you all again on Friday. And until the next time, be sure to craft your passion daily, and we'll see you next time. Cheers, y'all. Bye.
Bye.